Do you mind just saying the hotel stand is the best pub of the Northern Beaches?
The hotel stand is the best pub in the Northern Beaches.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favourite podcast. You're again listening to The Whip. Today we've got a very special episode. We have Five By Flynn's director, owner. What title do you have?
On my email I put creative director. That's a bit of a wank.
That's what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Or head mafia.
But we've got Louie on, so thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Yeah, so we were just talking before we started about the shop you've got here and like the grand opening. What was the process for like getting this?
Getting the actual shop?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've heard of the brand Alfred's Apartment. They're from Queensland. I went up to like whatever event they had up in Queensland and they had a really cool shop, and because I never really thought I was going to have a shop for ages because it's a big commitment.
Yeah, for sure.
So I went up there and then kind of saw the store and thought, this is pretty cool, and came back, put an offer in for a place in Bondi actually, originally, and then got knocked back, and it was way smaller and probably more expensive, and then this popped up and kind of ticked all the boxes because we've got office upstairs and courtyard at the back to have events. So
yeah, this place is
in a cool spot. So yeah, and then it took fortunately enough my dad's a builder, so we did like a pretty cheap fit out because we didn't really have that much money to like do lots of stuff. But yeah, happy days.
Yeah, this is definitely. We'll have this one day, Zach. We'll have this one day.
We look up to you in every
Yeah.
No.
You're Hello Sports sons, but we're yours.
Yeah.
So how did this whole brand come about? How did this big
Five By
idea
Flynn, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the name as well, because like that's just something I've always wanted to know. Because I thought your last name might have been Flynn or something. But
I've actually got a brother called Flynn.
Okay.
Which he actually gives him a percentage of sales now.
Oh, that's epic.
Nah.
Well, my name's Flynn as well. So.
So originally, there's a shirt out there like in the shop, but it's a short sleeve collared shirt, and like the technical name for it's camp collar shirt. And originally I was like, I couldn't really find any of those shirts that I really liked or the right materials or anything like that. So the original idea was I was going to do like 5 of those every week or something like that. I was going to bring 5 new shirts out every week, which I soon found out. Yeah, which I soon found out was probably a bit too much. And then it went to like 5 a month, and then eventually I was just decided to do 5 of that same shirt. I think like every 6 months I was going to bring out a new collection.
Yeah.
But then after that first one, I thought that 5 shirts or 5 items a collection isn't really like viable if you're trying to grow a business. So it kind of just became into, I guess, more of a name. And then I wanted to name it after someone other than me and make it more fashion. Because if you look at higher end fashion places, they usually buy someone or Louis Vuitton, like they're all people. But I didn't want to name it after myself. So yeah, I've got a brother called Flynn and worked with alliteration and yeah, Five By Flynn. And now it's actually a cool name, but I also think that whatever name you call a business or a brand or anything, like you make that name cool, or like it just could be a random word, but if you make that or everything around that name and a brand cool, it makes that name cool as well.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, the whip came from our friendship group. We was having a big drinking session.
that rolls into the AM.
Yeah, so we didn't know what else to call it. But
that's a good name.
So your idea is definitely better than mine. So how did you, obviously went to Joey's and then uni. Yeah. Did you always want to do it through high school, or was it just kind of something like that you just came up out of nowhere?
I always knew I wanted to run my own company and run my own business. I just didn't really know what kind of that was going to fall, like what category I was going to do. But I did events when I was younger, like 18, 19. Friends of ours, like we used to just run parties and pretty much pay for us to like go overseas and
that's sick.
Yeah.
And then the original company was called Dan's. It was named after the street that I grew up on. And then I got to like my early-ish 20s and I was like, I don't really want to be just throwing parties all the time. And I kind of fell more into this, and I didn't go to design school or anything like that, so I kind of like learned everything on the fly, and I feel like I do hit a ceiling of my own skill of what I can do, so I've tried to get in more help for more of the design side.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like my skills line, like branding and marketing and building the brand. Not so much in the products.
Did you do that at uni?
I did a Bachelor of Global Studies actually at UTS and majored in business, but I feel like at uni I wasn't that great of a student, so I kind of just got to travel a fair bit when I went to uni, so that's kind of why I did that degree.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
my ATO wasn't that great.
I was definitely higher than mine.
Good old asterisk.
Yeah, good old mystery marks. Whoops.
So gives our show authenticity.
Exactly.
So obviously when you came out, you started the business and stuff, and obviously the ideas are sick, but do you feel like some of the time you just have to freestyle and go into it? Because like there's a lot of companies where people don't have the degree and all that, so were you having people going like, are you sure you want to do a fashion company? Like,
Oh mate, at the start, every person that I swear, because originally because I didn't know how to make a garment, like make a shirt or whatever it is, so I got given a list of, it was like 5 or 10 steps of like, go find the fabric here, go talk to this person, blah blah blah, and a lot of those people were saying like, you're crazy for doing this, like it's a bad idea. It's a while ago now, so you kind of forget about it, but thinking about it now, yeah, a lot of people told me that it wasn't the smartest idea and should probably choose another profession. But yeah, I feel like everyone, sometimes around here there's a mentality you kind of like push people down until they actually do something, and then everyone wants to support
right.
that for that
for
as
sure,
well.
and then everyone
Which
loves
is a
it.
weird thing because it's, everyone loves it and like everyone wants to get around it. So yeah, I guess kind of the best thing is to try and block out that noise and really just do what you want to do, and hopefully if you put enough work in and doing the right thing, hopefully it works out
Yeah,
in
definitely.
the end.
Definitely.
Well,
Well, I saw as well that recently you put out one of the collections was went out and you did.
Yeah.
Who was that one with?
Her name's Coco Van Dyke, so that was actually planned, it was planned so long ago now, but yeah, I kind of just want to try and think of new ideas to reach different audiences and even like going on this. Hopefully someone out there will listen to this, or like someone will see that collection with her that wouldn't already see the brand, and I think something I definitely want to do with her and other people in the future as well, kind of branch, because I see a lot of brands now even doing collaborations with real random
Things line up.
yeah, like there's this place in the corner there, it's got a pop-up shop, it's a furniture store, and I was like, it would be pretty cool to just email them and make a random chair with them, or do something like that, just completely different things, but trying to merge the companies. And
Well, if you need 2 6'4" Navy SEAL looking Adomises, you know who to call.
I'll give you a bell.
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
Might have to get rid of the winter body first, but
What's the process you go about arranging these collabs? So you said you send emails. Is that generally how it works?
Yeah, like it changed. I feel like a lot of stuff comes up from even events that we have, so people from their PR companies might be there and they might go, oh, this is a pretty cool like brand and party and there's cool people here. So that, I feel like if you just send an email, it's harder because they don't really get a feel of who I am or who the business is face to face, or they don't get to see the shop. So I always try and maybe call them or invite them to an event if I know I want to do something with them, just so they can just meet me in person. And I always love a phone call as well instead of an email, because anyone can kind of send an email. But I like people to get a proper vibe of who we are and what we represent.
that's definitely rare these days as well. Like actually having a phone call on the thing.
Yeah, it's so easy to send an email to people, and obviously I do that all the time. It's just blasted. But something, if I really, really want to do it, I'll try and get face to face with them or have a meeting with them, because hopefully there's more chance that you can convince them to do something. But yeah.
No, that's mad. And then, so who's been the dream collab that you've had on so far? Is there one that was a really interesting story that
I really wanted to do,
or that you've done already?
I feel like the Coco one was pretty cool because sometimes it gets really not lonely, but you kind of just like in your own head with your ideas, and you can only ask so many people what their opinions are before they kind of tell you to fuck off. And
Well, trust me, we know.
So it was so nice just kind of like brainstorming with her and collaborating with her and on her ideas and what I want. And she's like, let's do this, and I kind of have to like steer it a bit more of a, I guess, commercial route, because otherwise we still need people to buy it, and yeah, it was just fun working with her and doing that, and that's why I really like doing collaborations and hopefully can do more in the future.
Her designs were sick, but
Yeah,
they were mad.
really cool. She's a very loud personality, so kind of it's quite colourful and good for Europe summer.
Yeah,
looking for
exactly.
some outfits.
Well, we're going next year. Are you going over this year?
No, I'm not. I really wanted to, but I've got to make a few sacrifices and
Yeah, for sure.
can't go overseas. I was going to go to Japan as well because we're doing a shoot over there for our winter or
Oh,
autumn winter
really?
collection. Yeah, it's actually about to get shot. Maybe next week.
Oh, wow.
What day is it?
Wednesday.
Life is
Tuesday next Wednesday.
Life is a fast lane.
No, we all had 2 out yesterday.
Yeah,
All good,
yeah.
Dusty.
Yeah, mate, I'll tell you what, I was at work. I was struggling.
So was I.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's next Wednesday. But I really, really want to go. But I have to. If I can get it done without going over there,
Yeah, for
then
sure.
I'll save whatever $5,000. I feel like I'd rather go later when the business is a bit more established, and I can have a better time and not feel guilty about spending the company's money.
No, definitely. And then, so what does your day-to-day look like?
It varies a lot. It just kind of depends what's going on. But so recently, it's been a lot of it has been organising this shoot. So finding like the models over there. A good friend of ours, his older brother lives over there now, so he's kind of been producing it,
Oh, cool.
which definitely helps. So he finds the models there, photographers, videographer. So I don't have to pay for anyone to go over there, which definitely helps.
That helps, yeah.
And I think just right now as well, I'm working on spring summer, so hopefully that will, if I get my act together, I'm a bit behind on it, but hopefully it'll come out in November this year. So just be finding designs for that, inspiration, and then I go have a meeting with my manufacturer who's got an office in Alexandria, so I go have a design meeting with them, go through all my ideas with them,
Yeah.
see what's possible. The one thing I'm trying to get better at is planning the future collections and budgeting and stuff like that, because it's sometimes just a bit Wild West. Going like, okay, cool, this looks good, let's make that. That looks good.
Yeah.
So, because we're still so small and young, kind of like still working out our identity. So it's kind of
Yeah, for sure.
hard sometimes.
I love the signature ones.
Yeah.
The shirts, I reckon.
I always find them really boring because obviously I've just seen them. I'm always around and I always see them.
Yeah.
But I have to remember sometimes that there's always new people coming to the business, and
Yeah.
that's a nice, safe option.
I reckon they're sick, especially the off. Okay, I'm not fashionable, so I don't know what the
The
colour is.
off-white ones, maybe?
The off orange, the like the brand colour, but it's like slightly darker.
Yeah.
That design's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones are mad.
Do you mean just with the logo on the front?
Yeah, just with the logo on the front. But the
For some
colour
reason, I
schemes-
didn't bring them back for eight. Like I knew they were really popular, but I didn't bring them back for ages. But they're coming back for autumn, winter.
Nice.
You'd be receiving a deposit.
Yeah, come with the shop.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm trying to do is now we're getting a bit bigger. I want to try and build up a staples range of maybe 4 or 5, maybe even more products that just tick over all year round. So that kind of keeps money in your bank account, and then you have more louder pieces, which maybe you make a bit less of, which brings new people into the brand. Say if you did some digital advertising, you could do a cool shoot with some nice knitwear, and which would bring them in, and then hopefully they buy a staple piece. And yeah,
Who's your dream guest?
guess.
Collab.
Collab. Sorry. So used to saying guest for
I
us.
really just want to do a shoe. So a PR company came in the other day and they look after Vans. You know Vans the shoe? Obviously they're a massive company. They pitched the idea to Vans about doing a shoe with them, but they knocked me back. So I don't know, maybe like Converse or something like that. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you follow much basketball, but Devin Booker just did a shoe with Converse as well, and it looks really, really cool. So I'd love to do something like that.
What would your one look like, you reckon?
I actually have no idea. I haven't even really thought about it, but just yeah.
You'd have to go with the colour scheme.
Yeah, I'd have to. I wouldn't want it to be too crazy. I'd just have some like add some little detailing. I don't know.
What about like a celebrity to come on and either collab with, or got it right that time, or like just
Send
do the
product to, or
get the campaign going and stuff.
Like I love Hailey Bieber or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Or Kendall Jenner, or one of those massive celebrities. Or actually, I was chatting to Sydney Sweeney's manager the other day.
Oh, really?
Because she was in Sydney.
Yeah, she was shooting that movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I found I nagged her agent so much. I found her on Instagram, like sent her so many messages on Instagram, and then I found her email. She finally replied to an email. And her assistant was meant to come into the shop because she's back in America now, but she didn't come in. But I've got their address now, so I'm just going to send some product.
Yeah, just do it.
Because I've learned as well with that stuff, you can never get your hopes up about anything. So even with like that band, Shoe Club, or like Sydney Sweeney's manager coming, whatever, I try and take everything with a grain of salt now because it's so hard for those things to actually happen. And if I get excited about them all the time, I'm just going to let myself down.
Yeah,
because
sure.
9 times out of 10 it doesn't work, but you just got to keep trying.
That's a great mindset because I would 100% tell all my friends.
Oh, don't worry, I still do that. But I'm like, I go home to the like, Sydney Sweeney's assistant's coming in.
Yeah, okay. Well, that makes you feel a bit better because I'd be 100%.
I'm saying that now because I feel like it's happened to me again and again. So, but yeah, I still do the same thing.
So how, like, personally, I got to know you better. Obviously, there's heaps of people in, like, our area because, like, the east of the beaches, similar, like, cultural vibe. But how...
demographics?
Yes, exactly, thank you. But how I got to know you a bit better was through Hello Sport.
Yeah.
So how do you, like, this is more a personal question for me.
Know the boys.
Know the boys and get closer to them?
So I mentioned before when we were off camera that Eddie's wife, Ella, they gave me their office for last year. So when I quit, so Ella's business partner Steph, I quit because I used to work in another company and I quit maybe like last April or something.
Yeah.
So about a year ago. And when I quit, they gave me their office for ages because obviously I didn't have the shop.
Yeah.
And then I knew the boys, but not that well, and then got close with them, and then started doing their merch for them, and then just have kind of gotten closer, and they are good. They always promote me, which is very nice.
Yeah.
That's something they don't have to do, and they always wear the hats, and I feel like they're a demographic of people that listen to them, which I didn't really like originally think that I could try and sell stuff to. But
Yeah.
it's kind of opened me up to new ideas of just marketing, not to anyone, but just new audiences.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure, like, generally you probably wouldn't think that their audience that listens to them would want to come and buy stuff from Five By Flynn, but they obviously do because so many people come in.
And go.
They listen to Hello Sport. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I've given them a discount code. I think it's still active. So yeah, heaps of people come in. So yeah, it's opened me up to like new audiences and new ways to market things. And
Did you do the rose coloured?
no, they did that.
Did they do that themselves?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They're pretty creative boys. I don't know. They probably wouldn't want to hear me say that, but yeah, they've got some funny ideas. So what they do usually is, I had a meeting with them the other day. They just have an idea in their head, and Tom does a drawing like a 5-year-old. Do you reckon we can do this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then I try and conceptualize it for them and make it come to life.
How are your drawing skills?
Not good at all. Terrible. Oh, no, they're terrible. I go to an actual artist.
Yeah.
A friend of mine is down in Melbourne. I send him the child's drawing and go, can you make this good?
Yeah, can you make this look
Yeah.
Because we had my old roommate's girlfriend was a graphic designer.
Oh, yeah.
And she did like our logos.
Yeah.
We've never actually shouted her out, so thanks. But yeah, she did all ours because I don't have a creative one, as you can probably tell by my outfit. I don't have one creative bone in my body.
No, you're looking good.
Thanks, man. See, Zach, why can't you be like that?
No, no.
Yeah.
You got the black tans on as well.
Yeah.
Listening's full, fresh.
I had them for years.
I like them.
I think my ex bought them
Are you
for
gonna
me.
roll me after this interview or?
Definitely. Take a whole shot, mate. No, not at all.
Well, you need to wear them to a tour.
I do, that's the whole thing.
A reoccurring theme on this pod, which I ask guests if it's offensive, is Zach got rejected by a girl because she thought he was too small.
I'm like 5'10" normally.
Nah, you're not that small at
I
all.
was taller than her as well.
I'm just wondering, is that a reason to reject my friend here? Because I thought it was fair.
I would say no.
Yeah, good
I'm not that
answer.
tall myself, so.
Good answer.
Are you in a relationship?
I am.
Yeah? How does that go with the business? Is she like?
She's the best. She is very creative as well and likes going out and to events and whatnot. And yeah, she's the best. Sometimes I try and not speak too much about it because I'm always wary about because this is like at the top of my mind all the time, so I'm
Yeah,
very
of course.
worried about how much I speak to her about it, and I'm like, tell me if you want me to shut up. But yeah, she's the best. She's got cool style as well, so always giving me ideas and
Yeah, mad.
running stuff by her and whatnot. So yeah.
Did you kind of tell her from the start, like, this is like my life?
What do I want to do? Yeah, like she gets it. I'm not like psycho, like I'm not I'm not like fucking up at like 2 AM at night going crazy.
Just switching this camera.
But yeah, no, she gets it.
Yeah.
She was going to be very successful herself as well. So yeah, she understands.
Is she going to get a collab?
I don't know.
Not to put you on the spot.
One day. I've always wanted to kind of design her own piece. We've chatted about it before. But yeah, I feel like some of these pieces aren't really sometimes her style.
Yeah.
But and that's another thing which I've kind of learned as well, and I've had discussions with her about it, is you have to kind of think, especially when we're small, is you can't really take massive risks in terms of like pieces you design, because if we take a big risk and like 5 pieces don't sell or something like that, like you could, it's not going to say us broke, but like there's a good chance we're going to lose a lot of money, and we can't really afford to have lots of mistakes like that. So sometimes you got to think in a kind of like a commercial sense on what like the masses are going to buy.
Yeah, for sure. Have you ever had a piece where it's just like, because like we've had, I don't know about you, but we've had pods where we're like, this is going to be like the one that's going to be
next Joe Rogan.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you said it to us. And then like we get, like comes out and then like people don't listen to it, but then as I was saying off camera, we have that manly one, and like, I don't know, what kind of podcast would you say we are? Just life?
Just life, building beaches.
Yeah, like kind of stuff. And then we have that, what's it called, the former Manly player come on. And then like now everyone on the socials and whatever thinks we're an NRL podcast.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I guess it's, you got to kind of like diversify out.
Yeah. And saying that as well, you think this podcast is going to do so well, and it doesn't, and that always happens with things. I'm like, this is going to kill it, I love this stuff, this is the best thing ever, and then no one buys it. And then something I didn't even think about is the most popular thing.
Yeah, it's weird how it works.
Like even that hat that you're wearing, that white hat, they went on sale the other day. That was just like a second thought. I'm like, oh, we'll just add another colour, and just didn't really think about it. And those ones have been the most popular by far. So yeah, it's a weird thing.
What's your future goals?
For the business?
Yeah, just like coming up, we'll wrap it up soon, we'll let you go to bed. Big
No,
day
you're
golf.
right. The future goals are, I really want another store, maybe in Bondi, or I'd love to have a shop overseas, do like a pop-up in London for 3 months over the European summer. It's a massive, expensive exercise, but yeah, it's something that I definitely want to do. And I'd even break into the American market. It's such a bigger place there and so many more people. So there's more opportunity to grow and scale, but it takes time. So I don't want to, I'm trying to, sometimes I'm rushing, like I want to grow bigger and quicker, but then I have to kind of pull myself back because I want to scale kind of right and not send the company broke. Yeah. Which is a hard thing to do because I just want to grow it so quickly, but sometimes it's a marathon, not a sprint. So
Yeah,
I have to remind
definitely.
myself about that.
100%.
Well, do you get over to the beach as much actually?
What we were saying before is I try and go up to Whale Beach a fair bit when my friend, his parents got a house up there, so when he brings us around. But yeah, I actually haven't been up there recently, so I think we're due for a round of golf up there and some surfing and a few other beers.
Before I ask this question, do you have any sponsorship with any pubs or clubs? Because then you might not be able to say it.
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, good. So we have our goal, short term, medium, long term. Our short term goal is to get a sponsorship from the Hotel Stain.
Yeah.
They follow us on Instagram, so we're growing. Do you mind just saying the Hotel Stain is the best pub of the Northern Beaches?
The Hotel Stain is the best pub in the Northern Beaches.
There we go. Now we've had 2 guests say it. There we go. Yeah, that's like, yeah, so...
How are you going to do that? What's the plan of attack?
Get guests to say it, get the clips, keep uploading the clips, and then we're going to go and then ask them if we can do a show there.
Sick.
and then if they say no, then
Who owns it?
Ibis Group.
so but they follow us.
Who
So
owns that?
It's like a massive like hotel, like billionaires, something similar to like Maryvale.
Right.
yeah, but no. So that's our goal.
Nice.
So a little bit lower than yours.
Nah.
Before we wrap up,
Yeah.
just have a couple of quick fire questions. Go to cocktail.
Negroni.
Nice, that's mine as well.
Good man.
Favorite holiday destination you've been to?
Holiday.
Yeah.
Tokyo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
All the
nice.
Maldives.
I love Japan. Maldives?
Yeah, I went there last year on a surf trip.
Oh, okay.
Actually, and I've just named 3, but Mallorca as well in Spain.
Spain.
We did a shoot there.
Yeah, that was that one. I read
Yeah.
that online.
It was really cool.
What about your least
I just
favourite?
gave 3. I actually don't have a least favourite holiday. Holidays are always good. So
Yeah, place you wouldn't go back.
I have no idea.
I guess
No.
we're dodging that.
Yeah. No.
I like all holiday. I don't think I've ever come back from a holiday and gone. Well, the only one I went to India for a school trip. For a uni trip, and I was like, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to India last year. It's very different to all those
Yeah.
nice places you go
Yeah.
to.
Exactly. It was so good and I loved it, but yeah, the way I did it, I wouldn't go. I was living in a rural village and they didn't speak English, and it was a lot. So maybe, yeah, if I had to choose any, it might be that specific situation, but not
Yeah,
in the
for sure.
other country because it was cool.
Is there anything you want to shout out before we wrap things up?
Just the autumn winter collection will be coming out soon.
And we'll chuck it up on our socials and
Yeah,
all that.
it'll be coming out in maybe 4 weeks, depending on when this shoot gets done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks
thanks.
for having me.
Thanks, Louie, for coming on. And off camera, he actually was nice enough to give us 2
Oh yeah,
hats.
get the
It was
hats as well.
actually
These are fresh.
the
So
biggest legend. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me, boys.
It probably helps us a lot more than it helps you.
but I appreciate the chat, mate. Thanks so much.
No worries.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Flex, check, flex, check, flex, check. Diamonds in my fangs.